Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Michael Vick, live on VicTube. Yes, so for this video, yes, I will be starting my 2021 college football team preview and prediction. So I'm going to be starting, with my team, the Georgia Bulldogs. So let's get into it. Okay, so we got mom head coach Kirby Smart. Going into his 6th year as the Dogs head coach. Of course, in his first 5 seasons, he has a record of 52-14. 3 SEC East division titles, 1 SEC title, a playoff win, national championship appearance. Let's see, is 4-1 in bowl games. 4 New Year's 6 bowl appearances, and 3-1 in those games. And of course, where everyone's asking is, is this the year? Is this the year that we finally win a national championship? We've been in one. So now, we've made it to the big game. So now, us Georgia fans, we will not be happy until we actually win the big game. And we got a lot of hype this year. We got my mom, JT Daniels, a Heisman contender. My mom at quarterback. You can really sling the ball around. We're expecting this my mom offense to look completely different this year. You're going to see us, slinging my mom the ball around a lot. This is really going to be a really dynamic offense. Oh, anyway, I think that my mom Kirby may have learned his lesson. The best thing that he can do is to keep his hands off the offense and let offensive coordinator Todd Monken, my mom, run the offense while Kirby just focuses on the defense, because Kirby is a great defensive coach. So, that we lost some key pieces on defense, but we're gonna reload. Kirby's gonna have us as a top 10 defense. I think maybe not top 5, but at least top 10 or top 15. You don't really need to have an elite defense to win a national championship, but you do need an elite offense, and I believe that Georgia will have that this year. So anyway, let's get into it. So first of all, some players that we lost. Of course, I'm going to start with wide receiver George Pickens, who, as you probably know, my mom was injured during spring practice. Yeah, blew his knee out. So tore his ACL, I think, or it was something in his knee at the ACL, I think. So yeah, but we have heard my mom rumors that he could come back late in the season, and maybe he, could be back by November or December. Of course, I really, hoping, that he will be able to, come back, and that we will, get to, see him again in a Bulldogs uniform. Anyway, of course, we lost 33 catches for 513 yards, 14.3 yards per reception, and 6 touchdowns. And then also on the offensive line, which we have, we lost our center Trey Hill and right guard Ben Cleveland to the NFL draft. So on the defense, some key departures there. We have inside linebacker Monty Rice. Whereas last year he had 49 tackles, 30 of them were solo, 1 sack, 1 pass deflection, 2 forced fumbles, 1 forced fumble, and 1 touchdown off of that forced fumble. A scoop and score. We have outside linebacker Azeez Ojulari. He had 31 tackles, 22 of them solo, 8.5 sacks, 2 pass deflections, 4 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Ojulari, my mom led the SEC in sacks. And we got safety Richard LeCount. And he had 26 tackles, 16 of them were solo, 4 pass deflections, 3 interceptions, and a fumble recovery. Now the reason why I had my mom such low numbers, he was injured halfway through the season. He was injured in a scooter accident. In the week leading up to the Florida game. So he missed. So he had to miss the rest of the season. Right. But of course, he was, one of the senior leaders of that defense. So he is a big loss. And then we got my mom, cornerback Tyson Campbell. He had 29 tackles, 20 of them were solo, 5 pass deflections, and 1 interception. And then cornerback Eric Stokes, 20 tackles, 14 of them solo, 4 pass deflections, 4 interceptions, and two touchdowns. 2 pick sixes. So both our starting corners are gone. But some good news. We did have some key additions. my mom landed some big time transfers. We added safety, Tyke Smith, have transferred from West Virginia. We had 61 tackles, 33 of which were solo, 2 interceptions, and 5 pass deflections. We really needed to shore up our defensive backfield. So Tyke Smith is a huge addition. Of course, my mom brought over West Virginia's defensive backs coach, and then Tyke came with him. Well, he didn't really come with him. I guess he was, a big factor in his recruitment. So anyway, we got tight end Eric Gilbert, transfer from LSU. He was the number 1 tight end in the class of 2020. And then, of course, we got the number 2 tight end in that class, Darnell Washington. So we got the number 1 and the number 2 tight ends from the class of 2020. And he had 35 catches, 368 yards, 10.5 yards per catch, and 2 touchdowns. Of cornerback Darion Kendrick, transfer from Clemson. And so another key transfer to shore up our defensive backfield. Of course, losing our 4 cornerbacks, including our 2 starters. So it's important that we brought in someone who has starting experience. Of course, last year he had 22 tackles, 12 of them were solo. He had 1 sack, 1 interception, 6 pass deflections, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 touchdown. Yet I don't know if that was on the interception or the fumble recovery. Anyway, then also returning from injury, we have Dominic Blaylock. He was injured in practice in August of in August or September of so it was in preseason camp of 2020. Of course, he was a freshman in 2019. And he showed great potential, but of course, sadly, he blew his knee out in practice, so he never got to play in his sophomore year. So now he'll be coming back as a redshirt sophomore. And in 2019, he had 18 catches with 310 yards, 17.2 yards per catch, and 5 touchdowns. So he's that's huge. Getting him back from injury, especially in the wake of Pickens' injury. So, and now let's talk about some of our impact players for 2020. So, of course, we're going to start with quarterback JT Daniels. Last year, in the final 4 games. Yeah, of course, the first 6. Stetson Bennett started. Actually, Dwan Mathis started the first game against Arkansas. And then, of course, Bennett finished the Arkansas game. Of course, we were down, with it 10-5 at halftime. And then Bennett took over at halftime. We ended up blowing out Arkansas. And he started the next 5 games. And then, after both of our quarterbacks, Bennett and Mathis, had a pitiful performance against Florida. So then they finally, JT had been cleared to play since week 2. He finally got his first start against Mississippi State and just lit it up. I mean, he threw for 400 yards. And the rest is history. Of course, he ended up, finishing, the season 4-0 in those 4 starts. Anyway, so during those 4 games, he went 80 of 119. That's a completion percentage of 67.2. 1,231 yards, 10.3 yards per attempt, and 10 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Oh, anyway, so he threw for just over 300 yards a game. Yes, it's what we've been waiting for. Yes, this is the exact kind of quarterback play that we have been lacking. Someone who can throw the ball 80 yards and isn't afraid to let it rip. Yet to throw the receiver open. Trust his receiver to make a play on the ball. Yep, he has really good downfield accuracy. He's the kind of gunslinger that we've been waiting for. Really like we were hoping that Jacob Eason was going to be. But we finally have, a legit quarterback, a really good quarterback for the first time since Aaron Murray. Yeah, and this offense is going to be absolutely loaded. Let's talk about more of our skill positions. We have our leading rusher from last year, running back Zamir Zeus White. He had 144 carries for 776 yards, 5.4 yards per carry, and 11 touchdowns. And of course, we return our leading receiver, wide receiver, Kearis Jackson. He'll be at 36 catches for 514 yards, 14.3 yards per catch, and 3 touchdowns. And here we have our X Factor, tight end, Darnell Washington. Yeah, the guy is like 6'7" or 6'8". He's like LeBron, but in football form. So last year he had 7 catches for 166 yards, but 23.7 yards per catch though. I mean that's insane. Yeah, although he really didn't, he was he was little used during the for most of the season, but he really came on in the last 2 games. Of course, our last game of the season against Missouri, and then in in the Peach Bowl against Cincinnati. Yeah, he became he started to become one of JT's favored targets. Where the guy will catch the ball, and then he'll just truck the first guy, and then he'll carry the next guy. Yeah, and then let's drag him 20 yards down the field. So yeah, I mean, he's gonna be unstoppable. Anyway, of course we got yeah, and then flip over to the defense. Let's see, we got the nose tackle. Yep, Jordan Davis. He is the anchor of our defense. Notice last year he had 16 tackles, 7 solo, and 1 sack. I know he had low statistical numbers, but that's typical of a defensive tackle or a nose tackle. Of course, they're supposed to, they're like offensive linemen, but on the defense. So like the offensive line is supposed to push the defensive line around. Well, the defensive line is supposed to push the offensive line around. Occupying those linemen. Trying to free up the linebackers to make plays. Yeah, take on double teams or push someone into the backfield. Collapse the offensive line. Remake the line of scrimmage. Of course, if a play is stopped for there's a tackle for loss or goes for no gain or just 1 or 2 yards, it means that the defensive tackles and nose tackles have done their job, and Jordan Davis is an absolute beast. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be the best defensive lineman in college football. And we got inside linebacker Nakobe Dean. He had 71 tackles, 39 solo, and 1.5 sacks. Yep, he could be the next Roquan Smith. Let's see, and then we got outside linebacker, Adam Anderson. He's had 14 tackles, had 12 solo, had 6.5 sacks. Second on the team. He had 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, and a pass deflection. So his opportunities will increase in Ojulari's absence. And then safety, Tyke Smith, the West Virginia transfer, 61 tackles, 33 solo, 2 interceptions, and 5 pass deflections. And now let's get into the schedules. First, we'll quickly, glance over last year. Of course, last year we went 8-2. We had a game against Vanderbilt. Got canceled, so we only played 9 regular season games. And of course, we had 2 losses to Alabama and Florida. And then of course, those aren't really embarrassing losses. I mean, they were the 2 teams played in the SEC championship, right? 2 top 10 teams. Of course, Bama was the national champion. They both had elite offenses that we just couldn't keep up with. But of course, most of our other opponents we beat rather easily, right? Teams like Auburn, Tennessee, Arkansas, South Carolina, Missouri. We blew all those teams out. And then, of course, we finished the season with a win over Cincinnati. A top 10 team. The best group of 5 team. We just barely beat them. 24-21. It took a fourth quarter comeback to beat them. So anyway, now let us move on to the schedule for 2021. Turn the page button. Okay. Yes, I had to change the page in my copious notes. But anyways, here's the schedule. Of course, start out week 1. We play the Clemson Taters. Tater Man. Anyway, it's going to be a top 5 clash. In week 1, top 5, top 4, top 3, clash in week 1. And it's going to be an epic matchup. And I'm really excited, as is the rest of the college football world. And yes, and I do believe that we will come out on top with the win. anyway, yeah, but this game really could go either way. Of course, we would be. It would be very surprising if either team uh, blew the other out. But I do think that we will prevail. And next we have UA. And that game is in Charlotte. The Dukes Mayo Classic. Come home and we play. Of course, Clemson, losing, Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Amari Rogers. So. And then anyway, let's see, we come home, we play UAB, Blazers. They are one of the better, more, recognizable group of 5 teams. They're not, top tier, but they are a good, team for a group of 5 team, but they shouldn't be able to compete with a team like Georgia. So next, and then home against South Carolina. New coaching staff, new head coach, Shane Beamer. Right, there's just no talent on. There is very little talent on South Carolina's team, and this should be another easy win. And then at Vandy, of course, they're bringing in new coach Clark Lee. We'll beat them by 40 or 50 some points. We're going to completely destroy them. Next, Arkansas. Sam Pittman has them headed in the right direction. They're a lot better than what they've been over the last couple of years. But they won't be improved enough to really give Georgia a game. We should see a score similar to last year. And then at Auburn. And I think that Auburn, it's going to be a rough year for Auburn. They're bringing in, fire Gus Malzahn, and bringing in Brian Harsin from Boise State. Right, they weren't very good to begin with. 5-5. Last year, they've lost a lot of talent. They do bring back Bo Nix and Tank Bigsby, but not much else. So it is at Auburn. Jordan Hare is a tough place to play. But like I said, Auburn won't be very good this year, and this should be another win. Next, come back home to play Kentucky. We own Kentucky. I think we've won 11 in a row against the Scaredy Cats. So yeah, there's no reason why that streak won't continue. Then we got our bye week. Coming out of the bye week, yep, we play Florida in the annual world's largest outdoor cocktail party. So, yeah, and and it's time for some serious payback. Yep, I mean they lost, their whole offense basically, lost, Kyle Trask, Kyle Pitts, Kadarius Toney, and they kept Todd Grantham as their defensive coordinator. Yes, so we are going to absolutely obliterate Florida. And then we in Jacksonville, and then we come back home. Play Mizzou. Yep, no, I think that Mizzou is going to be a good team this year. They could finish second in the East. Win 9 or 10 games, but I don't think that they can beat Georgia, though. I think it might be a little closer than it was last year, but we should still win comfortably. And then at Tennessee, Tennessee is terrible. They're bringing in their new coach, Josh Heupel from UCF. And literally everyone is leaving. All their best players are just headed to the transfer portal. They're good players. So like Henry, To'o, and all of them, hitting the transfer portal. All their talent is just leaving, and they're in a really bad way. So yes, so we're going to absolutely obliterate them. Next we got Charleston Southern. I mean, FCS team. Come on, we'll beat them. We'll beat them by 50. We'll probably get into the into the 60s in this game. Hell, maybe even the 70s. And then about let's play at Georgia Tech. Of course, this game was canceled last year. All of the SEC versus ACC rivalries were canceled, and it would have been played in Athens last year. And it looks like we're not going to be getting that home game back, but that's fine, considering that we own Bobby Dodd Stadium. So haven't lost there in 20 years. So I think our Tech's last win against UGA in Atlanta was in 1999. So we are going to be renewing our lease on Bobby Dodd and we're going to absolutely wreck Tech. Anyway, even though they'll be better than they have been in the last couple of years, but still not enough to compete with the Dogs. So that's the schedule for the regular season. Yep, I am. Yep, we're gonna go. Yep, 12-0. Yep, and a return to the SEC championship game, and we'll see how it goes. So anyway, this was a very long video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all again next time.